Ontario is, in general, not affordable by the definition of Canadian affordability, which is 30 to 35% of GDS. We're going to have to look at other forms, and the other form is rental. We're going to be building more missing middle products. People are going to have to save up longer for down payments. You're paying an enormous load of interest. The solution is going to be a mixed bag of rental, debt restructurings, transfer of wealth from the baby boomer generation down to the current generation that's buying homes, various affordable home ownership models. The two markets that come out tops for affordability in Ontario are Barrie and Guelph. I've lived in Guelph, it's a great place, and I think it's also a very unique market because it has great access to KW, Kitchener, Cambridge, Hamilton, Brantford, all those areas, as well as it's not incredibly far from Toronto, but it's still a pretty decent commute. So these communities are good on their own. Barrie is the gateway to the north. It's on Lake Simcoe. It's the gateway to the north, so it has access to all of the good recreation areas. So for a person who's looking for good work-life balance, it's a great location. The thing you got to factor in, though, is if your jobs are in Toronto, those are big commutes. So if you have a scenario where you have a couple days work from home, I think that's probably a really viable solution for people in affordability. If you're commuting every day, again, it becomes a lifestyle choice. Are you willing to pay for that? You're going to have to buy a car. You're going to have to pay for that car. It has to be a reliable car or public transit. So does that fit your balanced lifestyle? GDS is gross debt service ratio. And it's a very simple ratio. It's your gross income divided by your housing cost. It could be rental or your mortgage payments. And affordable living is between 30 and 35% of GDS. So let's talk about North York. Median income of $85,000. And we have an average housing cost of $1.6 million for this bungalow. Well, that means the GDS is about 130%. Let's talk about Guelph and Barrie. So we've got a median income of $95,000 and we have a housing price of $700,000. So it sounds way more affordable, but in fact, it's still not affordable because it's around 55% of GDS, which is still far above the affordability definition of Canada. What this indicates to me, at least in the medium term, is that we're going to have to look at other forms. And the other form is rental. And the other form is we're going to be building more missing middle products, or what I call large 2-bedrooms or 3-bedroom units, so that people can have a decent life and they can afford to live in their homes. The other thing it's going to mean is that people are going to have to save up longer for down payments. So a traditional 25% down payment or a 10% down payment or a 5% down payment, that's well and good, but that's not going to work. Amortizations, you can maybe pack out to 50 years. Maybe that'll help in the affordability of carrying, but then you're paying an enormous load of interest for your life. The solution is going to be a mixed bag of rental, debt restructurings, perhaps transfer of wealth from the baby boomer generation down to the current generation that's buying homes, and various affordable home ownership models, maybe where land or DCs are deferred or something to make the product more affordable. Please subscribe to our channel. We're going to continue to talk about affordability and the housing market and solving this problem. I've been in the residential, construction, rental, development market, and in finance for the last 35 years. This is not a new problem. It's a difficult problem. There has been moments in my career where we've come close to solving this, and it keeps rising up over and over again. But I do think this is a moment and a turning point. Even though we're in slow economic times, this is our moment to solve this problem. And we're going to talk about different markets across Canada. We're going to talk about different solutions that are being provided to address this problem and what works and what doesn't. If this is interesting to you, please subscribe.